All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
Hello, Biafrans, listeners all across the world, ladies and gentlemen. Please, I would like to make an open plea to the President of the world, the President of America, President Donald J. Trump, to please hurry to the aid of the Christians. As we speak today, I am glad America is not getting the message of what is happening in Nigeria, where Christians are being slaughtered in their thousands. I repeat, the Islamic jihadists, those that came with Boko Haram, ISIS, ISWAP, Lakurawa, and the rest of them, they have come to implement the vision of their Islamic leader known as Usman Dan Fodio, who said his mission is to create an Islamic caliphate in Africa, and Nigeria will be their centerpiece, the headquarters of the Islamic nation in Africa. Today, the rulers of Nigeria, the Islamic rulers, those that Britain told they were born to rule Nigeria, they have come with a tool known as Islamification, which is a process to Islamize Nigeria. As we speak, all the Christians are being slaughtered in every region in Nigeria. There is a genocide going on, and somehow the Nigerian government, they are in bed with this Islamic genocidist. As we speak, Nigerian government are sending a couple of so-called lawmakers to America to cajole the Americans and lie that nothing is happening in Nigeria, that Nigeria is peaceful, that there is no genocide of Christians happening in Nigeria. So please, I am making an open plea, more like an open letter to America, to God's own country. So please, do not give Nigerians government that ear. Do not listen to them. What they are doing is politics. Because they are in power and they are enjoying the loot, they assume what they are doing is politics. They know there's a genocide happening to the Christians in Nigeria, but they are scared to even discuss such matters. Instead, they are doing a peace deal with terrorists. They are entering a truce with terrorists. They've put the terrorists into a new funding policy known as the cheese policy, where they fund the terrorists, they pay them every month, and they feed their foot soldiers every day. So please, we are calling on America to listen to what the Christians are saying in Nigeria. At this point, I am glad that Fox News, they've picked up this story. So I will not speak on this one. I want you all to watch for yourselves. Watch what is happening, and at the end, listen to what a Nigerian pastor is saying. This man you're seeing here. Afterwards, I will come back and give a final analysis. If you're ready, let's go there. Listen.
35 faith leaders are calling on President Trump to act on the deadly persecution of Christians in Nigeria. Since 2009, over 52,000 Christians have been killed, including 7,000 this year. More than 18,000 churches have been burned since 2009, and over 5 million Christians have been displaced.
Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo joins us now. Raymond, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad we're doing this topic. We don't speak enough about the persecution of Christians in the world, the number one persecuted religion in the world. What can you tell us about what's going on in Nigeria and why we've been so slow to respond?
Well, first of all, just to put this in context, if you put together all the Christians persecuted for their faith around the globe, Rachel, they do not compute to the high numbers in Nigeria. As Charlie just mentioned, 52,000 killed since 2009. That equals, there's a group called Intersociety, which does pretty good polling on the ground. They say that's about 35 Christians killed every day, okay? 3 churches are destroyed every day in this area. And look, it's a combination. In northern Nigeria, you have both Muslims and Christians being killed. But in the Middle Belt and elsewhere, it's all Christians being slaughtered. And the perpetrators here are Boko Haram, whose name we know, right. An Islamic terrorist group. You have these Fulani herdsmen who run around on horses or on motorcycles with machine guns. They literally mow these Christians down, these farmers who are tending to their land. It is an outrage. And back in 2017, the Trump administration designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, which came with sanctions. Well, when the Biden administration came along, Anthony Blinken lifted that designation. He said these murders were being committed because of climate change. So that's why you see now Ted Cruz and 35 Christians saying, wait, we need to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. It's a bloodbath. It's a genocide.
It does seem like if this were happening to somebody else, you would see it on the front page of the New York Times, the front page of the Washington Post every day. Why isn't it?
Well, I think because A, it's Africa, and we just don't cover Africa the way we should, and B, for whatever reason, Islamic terrorism is just not covered. And when you look closely, 22 Islamic terrorist groups, including Boko Haram and others, have safe haven and have a safe quarter in Nigeria. Now, here's a little news. I was told this last week. There is a group of Nigerian legislators coming to Washington this week trying to petition the Trump administration and Congress from designating their country as a one of particular concern. They don't want this, but they're doing nothing to protect the Christian population there and to stop these radical Islamic groups from just laying waste to people on the other side of the religious divide from them. But I've spoken to Christian leaders there for decades. They will tell you they are very much afeared that Nigeria is going to turn into what Egypt and Constantinople became, which, remember, was a majority Christian country that over time you had an Islamic destruction of the faith. And that's what's happening in Nigeria in real time. We've got to do something here. At least put sanctions on this government.
What's remarkable, I couldn't agree with you more. And what's remarkable is, despite this persecution, the number of conversions and the faith of the African church is something that's so inspirational. So we appreciate you joining us on this story. It's so important.
Thanks, Raymond.
Happy
Thank
to do
you,
it.
Raymond.
It's really important. Thank you all for covering it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's start the conversation today. Let's hear what is your own take about what is going on in the United States, where a number of notable people, senators, members of Congress, even journalists and talk show hosts, and quite a lot of the religious leaders in that country, they are saying that, look, what is going on in Nigeria is Christian genocide. Now, I want to remind you that we have the governor of Plateau State himself conceding, a couple weeks ago or a couple months back, that indeed in his own state there is genocide. The third chief in Benue State also said there is genocide, but they didn't call it Christian genocide. So as a Christian leader yourself, Your Eminence, how do you, what's your take on these dimensions?
It is not now that we have been crying about the atrocities of the Islamic sects that had been violent and have been targeting Christians for a long period of time. You know that when I was at the end of affairs, I cried out because it is so painful when you are losing your members in the main week after week. and you are losing your churches, which it has caused our forefathers a lot to build over many years. So an unreasonable Islamic sect that wanted to wipe away Christians from the north, and possibly Christians from Nigeria. And I'm not saying they just without data. I'm saying this with data. Let me quote from the 2013 report of the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, 2013. It goes like this. Boko Haram is an Islamic sect that sees the federal and northern state government as well as political and religious elites are morally corrupt. Boko Haram rejects the West and the secular state and seek the universal implementation of pure Sharia law. Pure Sharia law is to say that Christians are not existent in those places. Pure Sharia law to resolve the ills facing northern Nigerian Muslims. Not only that, Boko Haram targets include churches, individual Christians, persons engaged in un-Islamic activities, those are Christians, Muslim critics, northern elders, schools, police stations, government buildings, newspapers, and banks. Furthermore, they reported Boko Haram has attacked churches on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day 3 years in a row from 2010 to 2012, initiating these attacks in northern cities with a history of sectarian violence in an effort to further destabilize Nigeria. It also has killed individual Christians. In January 2012, called on Christians to leave northern Nigeria. Did you hear that?
I heard this.
Called on Christians to leave northern Nigeria. Boko Haram attacked a Christian area of Kano on July 30, killing 45 and damaging churches. And prior to that day, had burned down several churches after the Nigerian government on May 14 declared a state of emergency in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa State. In addition to its bombings and burnings at and shooting of churches, Boko Haram has attacked beer parlors, poker players, and soccer viewing centers. My brother, what was the offense of the Christians they were attacking? If they want to establish pure Sharia in the north, why should they be killing Christians? Let them attack, establish their Sharia for their fellow Muslims. Why are they attempting to wipe away the Christians from the north? Is there any country in East Africa where it is only one religion, the religious group in any region? We are intertwined. What was the offense of the Christians that necessitated them wiping away the Christians from the north in order to establish Islamic Islamic Sharia? If you know that people with that type of silly idea didn't have respect for human beings, especially the Christians, any Islamic practice, they said they were out against it, which means right from the beginning they declare war against the Christians. When we are talking of genocide, is it because they have not killed many Christians? They also said that if any Muslim opposes the agenda, they will see that also as an enemy. We are not saying that they didn't kill others, but there was genocide on Christians in Nigeria because they killed our members in large numbers. 3 weeks after a visited movie, they attacked Mubi and leveled Mubi down.
Right.
I was an eyewitness. I saw many people they maimed in Benue State. Christians, our brothers and sisters. When we got there, the General Secretary of Crown, who know we standing, he was just weeping. The main people cut the hand, cut the hairs, etc., etc., as if they were inanimate objects or that can be cut down anyhow. So if we are saying that there was genocide of Christians, why should anybody be disputing that? Didn't the people say that they will wipe away the Christians from the north? If you are saying now that they kill more Muslims in the north, don't we have more Muslims than the Christians in the north? And besides, didn't they say that if any Muslims will oppose them, they will wipe that person away? Killing of the Christians is was and is still an unintended consequence. The real motive was to establish Islamic Sharia in the north and wipe away the Christians. This is what I'm reading out to you, based on research,
Right. Now,
based on what they said.
right. So, Reverend, just to give it a little bit more context. No, so this was what was happening in the early 2010s, like up to 2013 and thereabout. Do you still think, and I don't think there's a lot of dispute about the resolve of Boko Haram as a sect, but do you still think that that is still going on now with that kind of intensity today, about now, recently?
Let me ask you, has Boko Haram changed its agenda? Have they come out with a new goal?
No,
a new objective?
Absolutely, we've not had that. You are right, sir.
So I don't think that question will be necessary when they have not changed their agenda and their intention, and when they have not stopped killing Christians. Okay. Up till now, are they not still killing Christians in Benue? Are they not still killing Christians in Plateau?
Right. Okay.
How many Muslims are in Plateau?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I have made the point also that in Plateau and Benue, most of the population there are Christians. But my point is that, are we going to say that is the same Boko Haram ideology that is at work in Benue and Plateau? Is it the same Boko Haram ideology? Is that what you think, Reverend?
I said, have you heard them change their ideology? Have they come out with a new one that we can lay our hands upon?
No, I know. I'm just saying that. Do we know that it is also Boko Haram? I agree with you that
it is the same Boko Haram that split into ISWAP. From them, the Lakurawa or whatever joined them. And they continue to split and split and split. Okay. Have you not heard the moderator how they were even fighting themselves in order to gain the supremacy in command?
True. That's correct.
The same evil is splitting and splitting and splitting.
Okay.
Is it justice to us when people are now shouting and saying that there was no genocide of Christians in Nigeria with the blood of many that were killed? You can still remember the current chairman for Michigan local government, Lawan Dimi, whose throat was slaughtered. When they were calling on people to come and pay ransom, didn't they call on us Christian leaders to come and pay ransom? Did they call on Muslims? They call on us and they call on government.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if we cannot face the truth and are just trying to be political because it's damaging the image of the government. Then we are not going to get the solution.